Welcome, welcome, welcome in, everyone. Welcome in, everyone. I'll wait for a few of you guys to come here. We're going to do some live channeling with Source. We are about to go really deep and to this information today, as Source is putting upon my heart space. We're going to be talking about the timeline split and why it's too late for some and too soon for many. This is the message that Source would like to bring today. So, guys, when you come in here, please go ahead and put like on the video. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel still and click on all notification bells. Let me know if you can hear me okay. It's about to get deep because if you're a lot like me, you know something just doesn't feel right. Someone put in the comments if you feel like you're not necessarily on earth anymore. Does anyone feel that that the sun is shining different, that the wind is blowing differently, the atmosphere has changed? I literally want to know if you guys are feeling it too. Welcome in. Welcome in, Miss Sonia, Sister Sonia, and welcome in. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's about to get deep today, guys. It's about to get deep. I'm curious to hear from you guys about how you have been experiencing this thing that we call life, right? I think we can all agree that we are experiencing something different. And I think that it's important to talk about it to see how many different timelines that we are actually dealing with. Today, we're going to talk about two distinct paths, why it is too late for some and too soon for many. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and introduce myself. My name is Tahirah, Mother of the Ages. I am a supernatural quantum healer. So, what this means is I literally channel through Source and all aspects of Source. We are all aspects of Source. I am a channel for divine energies. And so at times, divine energies do step in to work through me. And that is what makes me supernatural. Okay. I specialize in quantum healing modalities, such as quantum telepathic healing and quantum telepathic hypnosis, guys. It's all about doing the subconscious work here. Book a past life regression quantum healing session with me. It is life changing. It is life changing, guys. I wouldn't even be doing what I'm doing now had I not learned about the subconscious mind. Had I not spent time in the subconscious mind, I channeled a whole book from the subconscious mind, The Great Expansion, the Cosmic Bible. You guys can pick that up on Amazon. Welcome in, Nico. Welcome in, Shannon. Let's go ahead and get this channeling started. So I'm gonna go ahead and I think I might go into trance today. I normally do conscious channeling, um, which I like to call conversational channeling, but I think I want to get a bit deeper with the message today. So I think I'm going to go into a little bit of a trance and then we're going to start. Um, Source is calling it a lesson. Come on, Source, let's not teach. Come on, Source, give us the tea. That's what we're here for. We need the spiritual tea today. Okay. I did some automatic drawing. We're going to come back to that. There's a message about something coming to the Earth's field, but let me go ahead and prepare my energy for the message today. Okay, there's definitely a presence here to my right. So allow me some time to ground into the energies here. Okay. All right. So source is here. Complacency. Complacency. It's the first word I'm hearing. And see, it's very interesting. So source is showing me like a braille message, right? So let's think about that. When you're reading braille, typically you're blind, so the eyes are closed, right? However, you can still pick up the message, but now we're tapping into another sense. We're tapping into the feel. When you read braille, you can feel the different grooves and bumps, and this is how you transcribe the message. Okay, so this is very important. So this is the season that we're going into as the earth begins to split into the unbreakable bonds. And so essentially this is twofold. Unbreakable bond is a group of people that will be bonded, like almost like bonded together, but not in a good way, like in jail, right? The frequencies are splitting, or rather the frequencies are allowing the split. And there's two groups. One will be bonded together in lack, and the other ones will be bonded, right, through, through joy. They will bond together. They will find similarities, right? And so I do believe that source is speaking about all the ones of us that were, so to speak, the black sheep of our family, or the misunderstood. We will have a place. We will find our tribe. Our tribe will bond together during this time. And the reason why we can do that is because you have to understand that we are now running on code. And the ones that can still read, even though they can't see, because you see, the world, of course, we know is a stage, and everything has been placed so perfectly to display a particular message. But it is the ones that can read through the braille, the ones that can feel and sense the message, even without the natural eyes, that will be uplifted and in this protected energy field. And we will all find this common bond together, right? And so we can really look at this like the ones of us who have these psychic senses, like the clear sentience, the ability to feel, right? So this is where source wants us to be. This is the true emotion that I need you to be in. It's it's truly feeling through the emotional canal to now express the higher solid. The one stuck in the emotional fragmentation, these will be the ones that will be consumed. And now it talks about when the interstellar objects ground. So it's talking about message that I pulled earlier, the interstellar connection mo- through sorry guys, I can't see it, through something other waves. So essentially what source is saying is that as we talk about the two timelines, well, how did these timelines get to be so different? Well, there has been frequency feedings that were and is still happening here within the earth plane. And so when these interstellar objects come into our biosphere, See, a lot of them will give off the frequency that will connect through the thought waves to be able to manipulate the thought waves, right? And this ultimately is like it's almost like a kiss of death to the ones that will be they will be grounded and bonded into this frequency. So some of what these interstellar objects are doing is to come through with such a potency of frequency that it will be like the final finisher, right? It will be so much more magnetic, right? And yeah. And so I want to get back to the Braille. So because there's two things, there's two timelines, right? So one timeline, we're reading Braille. We it's like you're blind, but when you have a walking stick, you can still get to where you're going. Like we're going through the emotional canal to now get to the higher solid. We are literally experiencing the birth out of this old earth. And this is why nothing feels the same, right? This is why everything feels weird, because there are certain things that we are doing internally that it's truly has always been part of our capacity. Humanity has always had the capacity to bring upon such technologies, right? It's like turning a light switch on. Now that our light switch is on, now we see everything that we have at our disposal, right? And so essentially what Source is saying for the ones who are going to be, and it's a channel path too, so the ones that will be channeling this path, right? This path that I feel right here on the right side of me. It's a channel path. So here's the beauty about it. And this is why it can't be stopped, right? And I'm hearing something about will never sleep nor slumber. It's talking about it's that scripture in the Bible. Someone knows what I'm talking about. Will never sleep or slumber. Mhm. So it's just talking about that scripture essentially talks about no matter what comes, no matter what happens at noonday, no matter if there's a thousand men that fall on this side and 10,000, it will not come for you because it's a channel path. They don't have access to this path of Braille where we're going. Like I keep saying, where we're going, we haven't been before. This timeline, right? That we are taking part of, it is sacred and it is channeled, and Source will press it upon your heart space. You will know what to do, when to do it. You will have everything you need at the time of arrival. You will have it. And so you will be channeling this path. This path will not be written in stone, right? It's pressed upon the heart space and it is sacred and protected. So this is where we're going. And the truth about it is, we will physically leave this earth plane. As before, guys, see, we are transiting through all of these different potentialities, right? We're transiting through and channeling through, but transiting through all of this, right? Because all of the timelines are like this, they are continuous, and you could pop into any one. Well, we have chosen one. And how have we chosen one? It's because a lot of our collective consciousness is there. And because a lot of our collective consciousness is on this path, this channel path here, the path that will be pressed upon your heart space from Source, then so is your energy. And when your energy is there on the path, that is your currency, right? So that is your home, that is your way, guys. So essentially we have chosen this timeline. The wheel of time per se is spinning, and we have decided to put our energy here, to put our energetic stamp here. And so this is the path that we have chosen for ourselves. And so as of before, it wasn't like a physical move from this earth, right? We always known that the earths were splitting, but see, this path is actually an elite path, right? And there will be a physical move from this plane that we're in into the timeline where all of our energy is, right? And so how will we get there, right? And so guys, what you have to understand is that we all have avatars in different points of time, right? We have the power to activate any one of our avatars, even some of our fragments here, because there's only a certain amount of types of prototypes of beings and humans, right? You truly are the operator. You have the power, the kinetic energy to literally navigate some of these, what we say NPCs are not necessarily NPCs, but what they are pieces on the board, because it's the universe, it's you're the player. It's the pieces, some of these NPCs, these shells, right? They're waiting for you to move them. They're your puppet on a string. But when you put your energy there, you can move this player from point A to point B. This is the mobility, the energetic mobility that we are gaining, right, in the season by choosing this timeline. And so where we're truly going is to a place where you literally can clear the board. You literally understand that you're in a game. This is the path we've chosen to play. So it's very interesting. Like, so everyone's trying to get out of the matrix. So this path is interesting because what we said is that we realize we're in a matrix. Hey, let us not stop the games completely, but let us realize that we are in a game and let us now have fun and to see the multiple different players that we have on the board. And we are essentially going to have fun by projecting our consciousness into those certain avatars and allowing ourselves to not only experience ourselves in physicality as a singular solar being, but we are going to experience ourselves in physicality, right, through the ability to go ahead and project our consciousness into multiple different avatars in the same singular existence, right? If I hope that makes sense. So this is the path that we have chosen, and this path is beautiful, right? We're going to have a lot of fun, guys. It doesn't have to be all gloom and doom. I'm actually so really, really excited for this message because I didn't know it would be like this, but yeah, this higher plane we're moving to, we're going to have fun. We are going to have fun. And the reason why we can have fun, and I'll go back and talk about the other path, right? But Source is really leading me to the good path, the higher vibrational path. I think this is where I need to stay, right? Um, so the cool thing about this path, guys, that we've chosen is in the fact that, okay, I want to answer that question, go back source, answer the question, well, how will we get there, right? It's the same thing. Now that we are aware that we are in a game, we will simply, on the higher timeline, we will simply utilize another avatar. And when more of our consciousness, the more you unravel and untether yourself to the soul relationships that are bounded or bonded on the lower frequency, the more you untether from them energetically, emotionally, spiritually, mentally, right? Physically, then the more of your consciousness will start to form into the higher consciousness, right? Of the higher solid. So this is how we are essentially going to get there. Now, as it outlines in the Cosmic Bible, it also states that we are in the process of getting built these immortal bodies, right? Obviously, we all have a certain level of spiritual technology, but the problem is this avatar, this body is a bit limited because it's too dense. So at the same time, we do have these new upgraded, spiritually, technologically advanced bodies that are in incubation right now. It's like almost like it's just another version of ourselves because this is an earth suit that we have on here. So there's another suit being prepared for the new earth vibration. And so this is to answer your question. This is what we're going to do. We're going to unzip this earth suit, this 3D earth suit, and then we're going to get into our other 5D earth suit. It's truly that simple, but at the same time, we'll have the capability to project our consciousness into other avatars as well. And so what this looks like is that we've cleared the board of the NPCs. We're going to be existing in a point of consciousness where all things are funneled through the I am, right? And so we're going to move into these massive creative like revivals. I'm talking about these inventions will start all over again. So the original, when we go back to the original art and the original, like, architecture and all of these things, what we will be building within the 5D spread, on the 5D spread, oh my goodness, it's going to go to another level. And here's the thing too. Okay, now catch it. This is very interesting. And what I'm seeing sources saying is we literally are going to be building heaven. And that's very interesting, right? Because if you listen to people who have channeled heaven, or who have had these past life, experiences in heaven, they do give account of these like Roman-esque sort of buildings and houses with these huge massive columns, right? It's very interesting that on the 5D spread, we will be building, we will have new art, we will have new expressions of art. I mean, it will be, from the 5D, imagination, or realness rather, right? But at the same time, as we elevate through the arts, sources literally allowing me to see, it's like we build heaven for the first time. So this timeline that I'm viewing, what I think, and I want to ground more into these energies, but what it feels like, it's either we've not had heaven yet and we're about to truly build it, or we are in alignment with a timeline that predates heaven. But either way, okay, sources say new earth, my dear, new heaven. Because remember, the earth and heaven are what? Conjoined. I've always been seeing that they are one. So you have new earth, we must have new heaven. And so us, the ones that they said were outcast, the ones that they shunned, right? We will be the one building the kingdom. We will be building the kingdom. This is very, 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 very beautiful indeed. I'm so happy to see that. And so all you have to do is stay within the Braille consciousness. Don't worry about what's going on there, because we don't use those eyes to see anymore. No, we have the inner eye to see, we have the inner thought to know, we have the inner vibration to feel. It's that intuitive nudge, right? And so this is how you will move around in your Merkaba. This is the true activation. Now, source is saying, how will we get there? We have to activate our Merkaba. That's how you do it. The inner eye to see, no longer these eyes, inner eye to see, the inner ear, right? To know, right? To hear, to know. And then the inner vibration. This is the fuel. This is the upward movement that powers the Merkaba into the 5D spread, right? And so I know why do I keep saying 5D spread? So it's like an equation. The source shows me. So the 5D literally rows out like 5 different cards, right? 5 different states. They are all a point of consciousness, but there are slight differences within the different the 5D spread, right? So even within the 5D, there is a multi-dimensional essence of it, right? And this is why it's more easily for us to be able to project our consciousness into different avatars, simply because the spread, the equation on the 5D in the 5D atmosphere allows us to do that, because the energy is not as dense. So it's not spinning, the consciousness, it's not slowing down as much. So it's going to be a little bit more rapid there, allowing the rollout of the spread, if that makes any sense of how I can explain it, right? So it's a true multi-dimensional existence, right? Where it just shatters the old paradigm. The old paradigm deals with the absolute, right? Or at least not only the absolute, but the faith that the absolute, right, exists, right? But on the 5D spread, it shatters that because we can be in what people say the absolute and within the imagination at the same time, right? And within, within a veritable of that all at the same time. So if you're still dealing with the absolutes, if we're still dealing with the masculine, left brain, it's going to be hard to really transfer the consciousness right through the vibration of the Merkaba. It's going to be really hard to power that version of yourself up if we're still holding on to the more left brain absolutes. We're getting rid of the absolute because the I am is the all, and it encompasses all things, and so it does leave room for the 5D spread is what I'm saying. So that's very, very beautiful. So I want to go back and talk about the half knots, the other timeline, but I really want to keep going and building on this, because this is a beautiful existence that we have waiting for ourselves. And it's really good to bring about a message, that will power us and motivate us forward. Okay. It's more of just this. So this is it's talking about the tower of communication, right? On the 5D spread. The tower of communication. It's like there's a tower, right? And it's how the energy flows, right? The energy flows like a tower. And this is it. Okay. So it's like the higher you are in vibration, right? This is how you can actually control all of these five different cards or pieces or multidimensional self. You can control it like it's not necessarily just like all at once or in incongruence, right? Yeah. So essentially, the higher you are on the frequency tower, right? This consciousness tower, this energetic tower that I see, you're allowed, not allowed, but it's like the different versions of your multidimensional self is all in alignment together. The magnitude of let's give an example. If there were five yous, replicas of you, and imagine if the five yous, the replica of you, were all holding the same energy, and that would be magnetized by the fifth power, right? Imagine the potency of that energy. Now imagine the five different versions of you on the 5D spread, but maybe you're a little bit lower in the tower, right? This energetic tower. And so maybe the five different versions of you, they're not all congruent and holding the same energy or the same movements, but there's slight different variations. Now your energy is a bit more divided. In one way, you get to experience a bit more of different variations, but in the other way, it doesn't grant you the power of the five in one. The five in one is where we always needed to get to. This is why the body is in five parts. There's five fingers, there's five toes. This is the sacred number five, five members of source, five aspects or attributes. The number five is it's such of a holy place, right? And so to be able to hold that vibration, this is what this is what births us into even a higher sphere. We won't remember. Okay, here's the thing. When we really truly jump into the 5D game, the source is giving us a key code to remember when we forget this consciousness. This thing I'm talking about, this tower of energy. So it looks like a funnel, like a spear, like a cone shaped energy thing going up like this, and it goes down into a point. So it starts off kind of wide and windy, and then it goes down small at a point. And then there's just different energy and frequencies moving up and down. The higher that you are here, the more on the 5D spread, all of your different the multidimensional version of yourself is all in alignment and holding the power of the 5. Now, the lower that you get on that same, I'm going to call it an energy or frequency thread, then you have a little bit more variations within the multi-dimensional you, within the different avatars, right? That you have access to. But your attention kind of becomes divided. So you don't feel the potency the magnitude of the 5, which is literally bringing source all back into one. Humanity will forget this. We won't remember this. But it's important for I'm going to put this into our subconscious, which we will take with us. This is our one Akashic soul, which will always go with us. And I'm going to place it there for safekeeping. I'm going to place it there. So we will remember when we forget once more that we're in such a game. That's the ticket to now, instead of dealing with 5D, where will we go from there, right? The 6th, the 7th, the 8th, the 10th, then back to the 12th, right? The divine 12, which is the completeness, the summation of all of the games and the matrices. And so we will build the divine code back to 12, which you guys know I always talk about how my star system on the 12th dimension was blown up. That will come back together. The more we rise in consciousness, we go home back to the 12th state. This is the divinity of the Christ. That's the state I'm talking about, of the crystals Christ energy. Because that coil thread, we're down here. This is why we lost that home. We lost the view that we had over all of the cosmos and over all of the beings. Because we forgot that we weren't all the way up here being congruent with all of our avatars. And so our attention was divided. And this is how we kind of fell from grace. And our guard was let down. And then there was infiltration because we lost that higher frequency. And so we will not forget. This time we will not forget. Okay. Thank you. This where we're going, guys, is going to be a lot of fun because we get to redo everything. And we know, and that's the thing, we have full awareness and consciousness that we survived. In the beginning, we have full awareness and consciousness that we survived. Of course, the emotional charge, we're unplugged from that, because the only way to truly get to the 5D consciousness, the 5D spread, is to truly unplug from that and unsoul tether yourself from those lower vibrations, right? Remember, we're moving through that emotional canal to the higher solid. Once you reach up for that higher solid, boom, just takes you up. And the severing, you will be forever severed. Here's the gag, guys. We will be forever severed from this lower time frame. And so when I want to say time frame, because Source shows it to me like it's like a movie, right? And you have all this wheel of film here. You know how you see visions like a film. There's a certain, right now, the people in your life, the people that you're kind of like, I don't know about them, I don't know about this energy, this vibration, that's getting cut out of the film, right? We're going to slice that, and then we're going to merge the two pieces together. And so what this is going to look like is you're not going to remember. These people will be dissolved. They will not be part of your consciousness. This is because this is the lifetime that we truly actually go home. And so I'm using lifetime loosely. This is the point in of consciousness where we actually go home. Is there levels to get there? Yes, we go through the 5D spread, we experience that, and then we move up. But what I'm saying is this opening here will last for a bit. This opening here, this final, this portal, that opened in 2020, this truly is the way home. And if you are going into the 5D spread, then you are in alignment to truly, truly go back home. No more games is what it means. No more of this soul trap or not being aware and being tricked. And no, we're done with all of that. We did that. So if you make it to the 5D spread, like we just followed the path and we go home finally. But we're going to have a little fun first. The 5D is a lot of fun because we get to recreate some of these things. A lot of this stuff that we created was like infiltrated, turned against, and used to poison the minds of the masses, like religion, right? And all of the things, the stuff in the Vatican, like all of these things, believe it or not, in the beginning, there was good intentions because these things were stolen and then scrapped together, taken out of the original energy fields, and in Ethiopia and in the Middle East and in North Africa, right? Taken out, and even in some of these lands, in the Americas, taken out of the indigenous environment and energy fields and put in an artificial environment. So they didn't even understand when they were stealing all of these artifacts to put in different museums and over in Europe and stuff. They had no idea what they did. They committed like a cardinal sin. They took it out of its element, out of its energy field, and it will never function the same out of its energy field. So this is big, guys. We're redoing a lot of these things. And the field, the 5D spread is bountiful. You know where we come from, guys? So source wants to, I'm going right up back to the 12th dimension, right? Um, see this this 5D is a way home, guys. See where we come from. I'm gonna paint a picture. There's trees and there's nature, but they fly. The trees fly. The trees, they have these spiritual wings. They're not grounded. Everything has full consciousness, and everything is just oozing out like wisdom. We're in a sea of wisdom and a constant becoming. That's the true home, where even the air and the atmosphere, like it uplifts you. Even if you were to even get a negative thought form, even the very atmosphere would literally just change that in an instant, so much so where it's like you never had the thought. That's the original vibration that we're getting back to. Yes, we have to take the detour to the 5D. The 5D is not the end all be all. It's just a way for us to get home. It's safe passage home. We will have a little bit of fun before we go all the way home. But that's what we have waiting for us on this path. It's a path, it's a journey. It's not about the destination, doesn't matter. Because when we finally get to the destination, guess what? We will recreate something and we will burst ourselves back out because you are the creator of the matrix. You just forgot. And then the code was hijacked and the code was sold off to multiple different beings and it changed hands. And then as it fell in density, right? Then, we forgot more. And then the powers that be, the people who essentially bought our code, right? They had more control and they used it, for evil. But once we get back, trust me, we will birth a new game. So just enjoy the ride, enjoy the journey home. So this is what I want you to understand. We're on the journey home. This is where we are going, and it's going to be beautiful. The only thing I see, I'm telling you, the people that are left behind, now we switch gears on the other timeline. I'm going to tell you who these people are. The rigid ones, the ones who they only believe in the lower solid. They don't have the spread. There isn't any variable, there isn't any multidimensional. It's the absolute. They block out the imagination, which is actually what's real, and they lean more into what they can see, touch, taste, and feel. And anything outside of that is garbage to them. These are the ones that will be bonded down together. I'm hearing weld down together, anchored together, and held captive here on the old earth, which is spiraling down to destruction. In a way, they know. And what I'm saying is, these people on this side of the quadrant, they need your energy. It's almost giving energy vampires. They may not know, but in the subconscious, they know that they have to have it. That's why some of these alien beings are coming. They want melanin, they want the codes, they want the DNA, they want the technology that comes there, because they know the split. So they're trying to grab onto anything that they feel that can propel them, and it becomes the false ascension path, right? The false ascension path is when you have to use all of these external things, external potions, external guides, external this and that, and no, all you must do is exist within the braille, right? Technology, that's it. And this is how you go home, right? And so these ones on this lower vibration, they will be grasping for your energy in these final moments, right? This will be the hardest part, disconnecting from their field. And I see a dog in my mind's eye, so I think it's talking about um, maybe Anubis. Maybe Anubis is waiting to lead them to the underworld. That's where that goes. That's where that path leads. Now, it's not all bad with this path. What I see is they sleep. The same way we're going to be having the 1,000 years of peace. Okay, so this is something not in the Bible. It might be in the Bible, but this is something new. Same way we're going to have the 1,000 years of peace, they're going to have 1,000 years of sleep. They're going to have that energy will be subdued also for the amount of time that we're having this, what they call the golden age, or Source calls it now the diamond path. They will sleep for that amount of time, and during this time the energies, right, will get consumed back into source, cleansed, purified, and used for the expansion. Everything in the universe, it's useful. It's useful. So I want you to look at it like that even still, the energies still go back to source. The only difference is, like, we gain the awareness and the capacity to create from the conscious mind and from the subconscious mind, understanding the journey that we've just journeyed, right? And we get to create anything, and we get to paint, and we get to rewrite some of these structures, right, that were tainted. And so essentially what we're doing in the 5D spread, guys, want to know why we're there on the new earth? We're going to rewrite history. That's what we're going to be doing, rewriting history. And so when I say, I don't know, I always get this thing blotted out, blotted out. You know, sometimes I'm like, I want this to be blotted out, blotted out. Well, that's probably why I was saying it, is because this is like what's going to happen, not because we'll be blotted out and forgotten, or it's because we are creating a new, because we have chosen the higher path. We've all decided to put our energy here. So, did the other path truly happen? If there isn't no energy there, did it truly happen? If a tree falls in the forest and no one is around to hear it, did it really make a sound? It's kind of that sort of thing. That's where we're going. Where your energy is what is real. Wherever you put your energy, your currency is what is real. Whatever you put your energy to, your mind to, is what's real, is what materializes. It's the old sayings, guys. These things come from somewhere. So put your and pour your energy into good deeds, into good soil, into the things that you want to do, because it's all an energy game. Wherever your energy goes, the energy will flow, right? It will flow there and it will magnify there. Okay. All right. So I think that might be the message. I'm going to hop into the chat here. Let me see if there's anything else that Source would like to say. We just as simple and sweet. We don't need to harp on this thing with the lower timeline. They'll be fine. They'll get back reconsumed back into source. We'll recreate everything. We'll have some fun. We'll get to play a little bit in this universe from being stuffed inside of the 3D body. Now we get, the different avatars on the 5D spread. It feels good, but ultimately it's to make our way back home and to recreate the 12th dimensional Stargate, which is back to this, I don't want to say absolute, but it's back into, it's like being back on the throne, essentially, is kind of how I see it, being back on the throne. Yeah. Wow, thank you, Source. That was very, very, very beautiful. Awesome. All right, guys, let me see, let me hop in the comments. Okay, so someone says, it's like we are fully awake with knowledge and information, and also the channel our real selves. Higher self is fully open, right? And no one can shut it down but your observer self. Absolutely, Nico. Absolutely. Letting in the somatic animalistic self control or drive the body. And Liz says, I had a dream where I was driving on the freeway and I looked up to my left and I saw the earth. And I said, how am I seeing the earth right now when I'm on the earth? And then the earth burst apart. Yep. And said it was beautiful with a gold ring around it. The ocean separated, then the country separated, and it was surrounded by gold ring in the sky. Very beautiful. Very, very beautiful. Welcome in, Sister Gail and Sister Carolyn. Guys, that's the message for today. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Please put a like on the video. And anything else I want to say? I'll save it for another video, some prophecies and things like that. Final message from Source. Um, I'm gonna save it. I'll save it for another video. This will fit better in the next video. Okay, guys, I'm gonna leave this one here. Let it be short and sweet. I love you guys so much. I love you. I love you. I love you. And so it is as we walk together in divine love. Be well, guys.